We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you.
ADR Networks presenta Las opiniones expresadas en este programa son responsabilidad exclusiva de quienes las emiten y no representan necesariamente el pensamiento o alguna posición oficial de este medio de comunicación.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is...
Foreign Show! On the Foreign Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm Isaac Rakesh on ADR Networks, and we have something special lined up for you guys today. But before we begin, Diana, can you please run us back? We're gonna come back in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. You share it.
That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on the Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on the Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on the Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on the Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. I'm Isaac Rakesh, and we have
Celestine Angel.
on the show
We're here on
today
ADR Networks, activating
your
your
senses.
senses.
TFS, That Foreign Show. Welcome to the show, and welcome to the insider segment of the show. We're going to be talking about something pretty cool.
Right. So we will review an app called Revolut. So it's kind of like Wise. It helps you to manage funds when you're overseas. And we recently used it, not in great detail, but we did like an overseas transfer. So we have a little bit of the review from using that function. And like, basically, I would say it's a very good app because we had a good experience using it. I did it, so Isaac is just listening to me as well. Like he's gonna ask me questions about it, but basically,
But the impression I got is it's pretty fast, right? It just went
it
through
was
and
like this. It
much
was
faster than the other times we've used different methods to make the same transaction happen, right? It's much faster, right? This time around. So yeah, so
basically
recommended, right?
like I think it took maybe 5 to 10 minutes only. So it's like if you need an overseas transfer done, it is really quick. And then the fees are negligible. Like seriously, like um, the exchange rate is very good. So it was so close to the market rate that you will see when you Google online. Like and then the fees were like just like for us, we only paid like for uh like I think it's percentage, but it's so small the percentage that you only pay like a couple of dollars or something. It's very very doable. So it's called Revolut. Diana, if you could put the Instagram page, Revolut.
So it's much the fees are much lower than other banks.
Yeah, it's like
That's
I
cool.
don't know about Wise because I've never tried Wise, but like our fellow Singaporean friend who lives here also in Mexico is using this, and I think it's worth giving it a try, like wherever you're from. It's so and they are super responsive. Like I tagged them on their Instagram when I did a promo of today's episode, saying that we were going to review them today,
Mhm.
and they actually wrote back to me like thinking that I was a client. And then I explained to them that we are actually doing a review, and they were like super super quick and
Oh, that's pretty
attentive.
cool.
Yeah, and they said just let us know what your user account is if you have any concerns, and like basically like you're not going to be left in the lurch.
Mm.
Yeah, you have someone there that is very attentive, and you can even contact them through Instagram. So it's yeah.
So great reviews all around. The people that who use the app that we know, we've spoken to them, and all around
Yeah,
positive remarks.
it was so easy to do. You just basically like set up the bank account details that you are intending to transfer to, and like they will ask you for the the clave, like here in Mexico, like the clave, the Swift, which is the bank identification code. You can get that online, and also the one extra part is that they are going to ask you for the address of recipient. So um, the address that is attached to the bank account that you are going to transfer to. So that one needs to be correct because otherwise it's said that they will reject your entire application. So basically just that and like so yeah, this is our review of Revolut. If we have
Cool.
new reviews of it, we will let you know. But
Yes.
that's all we did. Like we tried it for the first time and we did an international bank transfer from Singapore to Mexico, and it was so quick and cheap. So yeah, basically you get the best possible, I would say, exchange rates and with very like crazy minimum fees.
Yes, highly
And we
recommended.
save so much money because most of the time we actually draw out, which
Quite a bit, yeah.
we get like, of course, the worst rates, and also yeah, because especially because Singapore to Mexico, there's no direct exchange, so I think they probably change it to US dollars first and then to Mexico. So we are really getting a very bad rate, and from direct from the ATM here. And then on top of the fees, which is a lot, and yeah, so overall it's not a good deal, but Revolut saves the day. Yeah.
Yes. So give it a shot.
Okay. Today we are having our friend Veronica to come on. She's actually a first generation Chinese immigrant,
Mhm.
and I we want to talk to her about how her family adapted, you know, uh, as a whole here in Mexico, and she probably has a lot of interesting things to share with us.
Yes,
Okay.
we're gonna get into it with her.
Mhm.
She's not here yet.
Yes, the last she messaged me is that she's almost home, so I think she's a little behind on time. But yeah, So Veronica is 100% Chinese, but born here in Mexico. Her parents met here in Mexico, and they are both uh, like first immigrants. So she's first generation.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah. Okay, let me just check where is she right now.
And so she actually moved to Mexico then.
No, she was born here.
Right. She was born here.
Her parents met here. She was born here. So then her family had to, figure out everything as a new
Right.
family
Right.
here in
Mm.
Mexico. So that is actually the theme of today's episode. You
Right.
know,
So her parents born in China, obviously, right? I mean,
her
that's where
parents
they met,
were both born in China.
right?
Yeah,
And that's where they met, right?
they met
So that's
here
pretty,
in
that's pretty,
Mexico.
I mean, sorry, it's pretty interesting to get into this cultural exchange, between the two, and
Yeah,
find out what.
I mean, for her parents, it would be like straight up like Chinese culture to Mexican culture, like all the culture shocks that like
Yeah, yeah.
possibly and how they adapted, and then her perspective of growing up
As a first
as a
generation,
first generation Chinese immigrant, and
yeah,
how
Chinese immigrant.
what they did, because I think that like a lot of families who are here, foreign families, it'll be interesting to get some tips from, or just to know how other families did it, like how they coped. And
Yeah,
okay, so she's still not home yet. Um, let me just go through with you guys then, like some of the like questions that we are going to ask her.
yes,
Yeah. Um, so basically, we wanna ask about like the challenges and advantages growing up with this background in Mexico. Like,
and also just how you integrate it, no? Right? Like, cause she obviously has a different experience from her folks, right? Her
yeah,
family, both of them growing up in different places, in a sense, you know. So and how, right? I mean,
yeah, and,
that's
and most probably her parents spoke to her in a dialect,
yeah.
a Chinese dialect, and she had to grow up learning Spanish on her own because she's first generation.
And we actually get a lot of that this kind of things in Singapore, like this kind of situations where you have first or second generation immigrants, coming in from India or China. We have a lot of that.
I mean, Singapore is like a very good case to talk about this because we
Yeah,
have a lot of immigrants. So, like Mexico, I think is just really starting up because like a lot of uh, I mean, I know the from Latin American side they've been coming for like a long time,
hmm
but like right now, like it seems like everyone is coming. Um After COVID, it feels like Mexico is a very special place and it's getting louder to the world. Like
yes,
we've always felt like Mexico is so um I don't know. For us, it's like a spiritual site. Like Mexico, it provides intense experiences, and that is why like Dali said, this is a famous quote from Dali that he said, Mexico is more surreal than him, so he wanted to be like he cannot be in a place more surreal than him, and
mm.
yeah, we
Yeah,
coming
definitely.
here from Singapore, we would agree because Mexico is so special. And like as artists, especially, like here's such a good place to come to. Yeah.
It's a good place to also meet other artists and also, kind of hone your craft or figure out what it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah. And how
Yeah.
interesting, like, because a lot of the foreigners that we met here, they are like regular um uh corporate corporate workers, and then they come here, and for them this is a place where they want to expand their artistic side, like they come here and they do music, they do
Yeah.
photo shoots, they yeah, they make a point to do that when they are here. And I think Mexico makes you feel like doing that. So um I mean, for Veronica, I mean, we met her while acting, so she's also definitely an artist, and I have seen her like acting with dialogue, and she's good. Also, like a fun fact, she looks completely like Michelle Yeoh. You know, Michelle Yeoh of everything. What's the name of the movie? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Is it?
Michelle Yeoh, yes.
Like Michelle Yeoh, you know, like Crouching Tiger,
I
Hidden
think it's
Dragon, Michelle Yeoh. So yeah, she looks like her. Like every time I see her, I'm like, oh, Michelle Yeoh. Yeah. So well, you'll see when
I
she
wasn't
arrives.
gonna butcher the name of the movie or so.
Yeah, well, I could check it out immediately because this is such a big and one of our favorite movies.
So, given that we are from Singapore, this subject matter is pretty close to us, in a pretty personal way. So, just kind of like one culture melting into another, or two cultures meeting, and what becomes of that. That's kind of like the Singapore story.
No.
In a
So I didn't butcher the names, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like I
like,
got it. It's
all
one of
right.
our favorite movies because it's talking about like the universe and and
I
kind
was
of like
gonna butcher it.
which is what we always talk about anyway. So when
Mm.
this movie came out, we're like, yes, like it's going mainstream, this kind of things to talk about, like, and I mean of course this movie goes like nuts with like
Yeah, this movie is
sausage
pretty
fingers
wild. Yeah.
and everything, yeah. But that's part of the fun, yeah. You don't take everything too seriously. You don't take life too seriously. The cosmic joke.
Yep. And definitely, this city has some of those vibes, and it's we will be really interesting to actually get into that. What are some of the other things that we're going to talk to our guests about?
All right. So okay. We definitely want to ask about like how they maintain their Chinese heritage. Because I mean, especially as a first generation family,
Hmm.
they will bring with them their traditions.
Yes.
Like it's not going to be like generations after generations of just keeping like one or two alive,
Yeah.
but it's
Correct.
going to
Yeah.
be with all their traditions, and I want to know what they are, uh, and what's like how they incorporated it into living
Into
here,
living
what
here. Yeah.
got lost. I mean, yeah,
And
and
also some of the difficulties that might arise from that, or the lessons that we can learn from that, because it's not easy, right? Obviously, to be in a new place, new language, that kind of thing, and
yeah,
obviously we'll get into it with her. I'm not sure what she does for a living per se,
yeah. I don't think she just does acting.
Mhm.
She probably does something else as well. So we can
And
ask
also
her
her
and what
family.
her family does
Yeah.
as well.
Most of the time it's business, right? Like in our case, in the Singapore case, a lot of the immigrants, a lot of them are actually, most of them are laborers, but then a lot of them are also business owners, small businesses, and
Yeah,
things like that. And
I mean, this her family was generations ago, but like right now, I think the like especially from talking to our guests here on that foreign show, like we realized that the Chinese businessmen they are all coming in already to Mexico because they find this uh, uh land here ripe with opportunity, and they are all coming in already.
yes,
And
yeah,
like the Chinese people have been doing that, like Chinese business people have been going everywhere all over the world, like even back in Singapore and back in Southeast Asia,
yeah,
we would go to like an obscure island. I mean, to us it's obscure because it's small, like Bintan or something. And like I mean, so Bintan is like a boat ride away from Singapore, like maybe an hour and a half, something like that. And we arrived there, and the Chinese are also there. We're like, whoa, okay, the Chinese businessmen have come in everywhere, Yeah, like So yeah, so this is how we feel like the Chinese business
Yeah.
people are like coming in now to Mexico.
Has been more than
And
usual,
yeah,
right?
more than
That's
usual.
that's kind of the point that we're making. That
Yeah,
it's like
a new influx.
it's a new influx,
Yeah.
and
They have buildings. They
businesses,
have
yeah.
more and more buildings opening up. Like I mean, some of you might know about Izazaga. And Izazaga has like a few Chinese buildings opened up to sell like
what do you explain
wholesale
to the
stuff.
people what are these Chinese buildings?
Yeah, wholesale stuff.
Yeah.
And they have like products directly from China that like people will go to buy in bulk
Mhm.
and sell. Like
So it's
they-
like
they
it's like a
set
whole
prices.
the whole building is just like shop
Many
stuff, right?
floors.
Yeah.
In fact, it's like so high. It's like up till 16th floor or something like that. So, and there are two buildings quite near each other, like Izazaga 38, I think, and 89. So we know this because yeah, we have links to the Chinese people. We sometimes help them sell stuff. So it's like this, and then like now we've heard that in the like the central area where there's a lot of wholesale Chinese products also being sold, they have opened up like a Chinese supermarket, huge one, so it's basically seriously like the Chinese people have moved in, they set up shop,
The influx,
they
right?
have put their stuff for Chinese people to buy, like supermarket things. So yeah.
Yeah, so a
Yeah.
shout out to them, for that. Izazaga, if you need something, you can just go there and get whatever you need. You know? Yes.
Once again, because she's messaging me.
So if you're joining us, it's that foreign show, and we're just talking about some of the topics that we're interested in or interested to get into conversation with our guests about, right? And she's not here at the moment.
She's already home. She's just trying to set up right now. So I'm just giving her some information. And yeah, so
And I guess she'll
Yeah.
join us shortly.
the reason why we are having a lot of Chinese guests, I suppose, is also because of this, like basically we have noticed there's a lot of movement in the Chinese community, and everything is being set up, and yeah, it's an interesting
Trend, right?
trend
Yeah.
that's happening, and it's post-COVID actually, I would say. But before, of course, there were already a lot of Chinese people here, and like, not to say that the other communities are less significant. There's also Japanese and Korean, and it's been for some time.
Yes.
We've met a lot of these people actually.
So different cultures and the way that they interact and things like that. That's really pretty much the
Right. So let's take a quick commercial cut before and to help our guests set up.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back like in a couple of minutes.
piece.
We are going to a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
On the foreign show.
Hola, soy Luis Flores. Te espero todos los viernes en punto de las 9 de la noche, tiempo del Centro de México, en mi programa Momentos de Espiritualidad, donde platicaremos sobre temas como ángeles, sanaciones, seres de luz y demás temas tan interesantes. ¿En dónde? En ADN Wellness, activando tus sentidos y tu espíritu.
ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
¿Qué tal amigos? Los saluda Mariano Rivapalacio y los invito a que me acompañen todos los miércoles en punto de las 6 de la tarde en Factor Total. Aquí hablamos de temas de salud, de ciencia, de tecnología, problemáticas sociales, cultura y tradiciones, siempre de la mano de especialistas y voces autorizadas. Ya lo saben, 6 de la tarde, tiempo del Centro de México, a través de las plataformas digitales de ADR Networks. Factor Total, activando tus sentidos.
Aviso urgente para todos los amos y guerreros del camino. La espera terminó.
Llega el programa más loco e irreverente de las 5-7. Este es un reto para todos los que se mueven sobre ruedas.
Si tú quieres que tus sentidos exploten al máximo, escucha al equipo de las 5-7.
Te esperamos con buen humor, música y mucha información.
Recuerda, equipo de las 5-7 en acción por ADR Networks.
Te esperamos todos los martes y jueves.
De 6 a 7 de la tarde. Activando tus sentidos.
Hola, yo soy Alicia Rábago y te invito a que todos los viernes a las 9 de la mañana no te pierdas Acompañándonos. Es un programa que tiene temas de salud, de educación, de bienestar, de crecimiento personal, de estar y compartir. Son programas de interés para ti, para mí y para todos. Así que te espero los viernes 9 a.m. en Acompañándonos por ADR Networks.
El café de las 10, de lunes a viernes a las 10 de la mañana.
¡No se lo pierdan! ¡Véanlo, perros!
Que no puedes decir perros al aire.
Ay, sí lo he dicho al aire. Además, tú ni viniste a la fiesta de fin de año, güey.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Alberto Morales.
Y yo soy Yolanda Muedano.
Y te invitamos a nuestro programa Jite Karate Do, Artes Marciales y Deportes de Contacto.
Todos los lunes en punto de las 9 de la mañana.
Para platicar de lo mejor de las artes marciales.
Aquí en ADR Network
y ADR Sports.
Activando tus sentidos marciales.
Hola amigos, yo soy Mike y los quiero invitar todos los viernes a la 1 de la tarde a que sintonicen Magic Mike, donde encontrarán las mejores sugerencias para qué ver, qué leer o a dónde ir. No se lo pierdan, viernes 1 de la tarde por ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Nosotros somos
Tony Nieto.
Yo soy Cox y los invitamos a que no se pierdan todos los miércoles de
3 a 4 de la tarde
nuestro programa Conectados por ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
Hola, soy Eric Cadena.
Yo soy Ale García. Y yo, Mariana Torres. Y te invitamos a que no te pierdas TU,
un programa del mundo del entretenimiento donde tocaremos temas como música,
teatro, televisión,
artistas invitados, cine, series
y mucho más. Así que te la pasarás TU todos los sábados a la 1 de la tarde
por ADR Networks,
activando tus sentidos.
Hey guys, we're back at TFS. Thank you for staying with us.
Listo.
All right, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Our guest is logging in, and in a short while, we're about to talk to Veronica. Hey, hello.
Hello. How are ya?
Welcome to
Can
the
you
show.
hear me?
Welcome to
Yes,
that
we can.
show.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sure. How are
Cool.
you guys?
Great.
We're very
Nice.
good. And you?
Everything perfect.
Great. You know, so
Perfect.
this, like, a jump
Been
is
running
like,
around, but I'm here
this way of
finally.
saying, like, how are you? It's very Mexican, right? Like the Chinese people don't do that. You don't say like
Yeah.
they will say actually they
Oh, no.
say ni hao ma, so ni hao ma is how are you? So yeah, it's very
Ni hao. Exactly.
Yeah. So okay, so we have been telling like the audience your background and stuff. And like so we would like definitely to know about like how you know how you grew up here with the background that you have, like being first generation, both parents from China directly, and then you born here. So they definitely brought all the traditions, Chinese traditions, because they're straight from China, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they
And you were the one
actually
that
they
had
came
that.
to me. Yeah, actually they came to Mexico
separately, and they were here, when they were young. So they have not very many, traditions, but some. And I still keep them,
Like, can you give us some examples? Like,
Yeah, sure.
what is the
When I
difference?
was, yeah, here. I was very lucky because my grandma used to live with us. So she cooked Chinese food every single day. I was so very lucky. Yeah. And yes, and I learned how to cook, also. And of course, the language. My grandma, she didn't like the Spanish. So she spoke to us always in Chinese. So I was also very lucky because I learned, how to speak Chinese, understood Chinese. It was so funny because I spoke to my parents in Spanish. I asked them, what does that mean? You said, I don't know, for example, fightisek, and I was always very curious about, the language. And so I asked my dad or my mom, so what does that mean? And he told me, apúrate, no? Okay, so yeah, so I learned, a lot of the language that way, listening, and not when I was little, I didn't really speak much Chinese. I don't know, maybe I feel shy or something. I don't know, but luckily, I understood and I could practice later on. So that was really good. Something that I really appreciate.
That's kind of way to learn, right? I mean, like, because you're just learning, live, right? And getting knowledge like that way.
Yeah. But your parents spoke to you in English, sorry, in Spanish or in Cantonese?
In Cantonese, they spoke to me in Cantonese, to us in Cantonese.
Wow. Okay. So, like this, you definitely like grew up with, bilingual. Yeah.
Exactly.
But your parents, as you said, came when they were younger. They weren't like grown. Were they like teenagers? Or
Yeah. Yeah. My mom was smaller. She was like 7 years old or so. And my dad, he was like about 15 years old, more or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they spoke Spanish because of that, right? They grew up here speaking Spanish.
Yeah. My mom, she went to school here. She went to high school here. And my dad, he learned by himself. He learned English here and Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are some of the, maybe you can get into this, some of the difficulties or obstacles that you yourself or as a family had to overcome?
There was a little racism, there weren't that very many Chinese here in Mexico, and the ones that were here, they were, like working only. So, yeah, a little racism. What else? Maybe when I was in school, they made fun of me, like, chinito no que le come la los, and things like that, But I was lucky. I mean, I wasn't bullying that much. So it was okay.
Right. And the bullying was not like very mean, or did you feel like it was pretty racist?
No. Really, actually, just the kind of jokes and the kind of comments. Yeah, like that. No,
Yeah, it's
nothing
just
really disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there weren't many Chinese people, right? So I'm sure you're like the
No.
only one.
Yeah, at school I was the only one. Maybe until maybe high school, one more girl, I think.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But before that, no Chinese except me and my brothers.
Okay. So how many
Yeah.
brothers do you have?
I have two younger brothers.
And so you guys like group together, like protect each other in school?
Yeah, we did.
Gang, right? You gotta get together.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Mm. So obviously now, I mean, from that time when you
Mhm.
were kids, now there's a lot of differences, right? There's a lot more. Would you say a lot more Chinese people, Asian people in Mexico, right?
Yeah, much more.
Now there's a whole community. So I
Yeah.
mean, back
Exactly.
then, before you met like more Chinese people, like did your family celebrate Chinese New Year, all these
Yeah.
dates?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, of course. Yeah, Chinese New Year. What else? Like Chinese traditions. Oh, I think just basically Chinese New Year, but we did not have a like a dinner at home with the family because my parents had restaurants, so we had to work, you know.
Okay.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's what we were going to
But
ask you.
mhm,
That your
mhm.
family, so your family,
And
that's what your
we will,
family does.
yeah, they do. They have they're in the restaurant business, the food
Right.
industry. Hmm.
Which restaurant is it? We should check it out.
Yeah.
It's called Cafe Shanghai right now. That's the only one that we have right now. But there used to be a Restaurante Shanghai in El Centro downtown. We used to have another one that's called Ming's. One in
Big.
Cuernavaca, the
Oh,
Shanghai Garden.
oh.
Um,
Okay, got it.
yeah, a few coffee shops, but no more. And my
Right.
uncle, my uncle and my cousin, they have the Asian Bay right now in Colonia Condesa. So that's what we have right
Oh,
now.
so you're related to the Chews, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
I
Yes, I'm
didn't know
Veronica
that.
Chau
I didn't.
Chiu.
Yes, I saw right now on your WhatsApp Chow Chew, and then I was thinking, are you related to like Joab
Yeah.
and the whole Chew family?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, sure. Yeah. We are related.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So your family is huge in Mexico. Your
Yes, it
family is so.
is.
Mm.
Yeah. From my mom's
And
side. From
so,
my dad's side, no.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
From
so
the
your
Chow.
the grandma that you were mentioning is from your mom or from your dad?
From my mom's side. My mom's
Okay,
side.
so everything's from mom's side. All the folks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So and all of you had like these Asian restaurants, and you have been having them all these years. So for Chinese New Year, you just go to your restaurants and work, right?
Yeah, and work. Yeah, exactly.
Easy thing.
Yeah, but you know
so
what?
growing up, uh-huh.
Yes. I was going to tell you that we celebrate it also, but in a different way with the Chinese community. There's a Comunidad China de Mexico here in Mexico, and it started when I was about maybe 10 years old. So from then on till now, I still belong to the community, and we uh, celebrate with Mexican people, our
Mm-hmm.
traditions, with the Chinese lion and dragon dance and folk dances. So that's the way to celebrate also.
Hmm. Chinese New Year.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay.
Hmm.
So let's move along a little. What kind of what aspects of Mexican culture do you feel had like a significant impact on you?
Mexican traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I say like the way they the the gathering with friends. That's like something like
Uh-huh.
something that I love, and we Chinese do too. No, But the partying, the dancing, and
Yeah.
that's that part.
That part is different, right? Like here in Mexico, you find that the fiesta, the kind of vibes is more of a thing, right? Like, would
Cheerful.
you say that?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Very open.
No, not that way. Like we cheerful, joyful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I think the Chinese culture is definitely more reserved. Dancing is out of the question.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a wedding, I mean, right? If during a wedding or some kind of a Chinese New Year
I mean, in
thing.
Singapore, yes, but I am not sure about China.
What is it like?
No.
What do you know, right?
For Chinese, we just eat. The course is about 10 dishes, 10 different dishes. So the big thing is eating. And then maybe some games and things like that, but no dancing. That's boring. That's what I love about Mexico. The dancing and that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how people are so like comfortable and with each other and stuff like that, right? It's a nice experience, basically.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So another question we have is, do you have any memorable experiences about when your Chinese heritage intersected with your life in Mexico?
Sure.
So special moments, right?
Yeah.
I mean, special moments.
Special moments. You know what? Most of my moments were with the Chinese, con la comunidad china, with the Chinese community, the group. We traveled a lot, and we still travel. And I remember one day we went to a small village in Veracruz. The people were so nice. We didn't get we didn't stay in a hotel. We were divided into different homes. So, but we felt really, really welcome, and I feel so grateful. These people had very little, but they share it with us with all their heart. So that really was a great memory. And also, it was so funny because the little ones that came to us, and after we finished dancing and stuff, they go, "Oh, could you please sign my my shirt or my something?" That was really nice, really cute.
You're like a mini celebrity when you're there, right? Like, oh, Chinese people.
Yeah, and they really appreciate it. That's very nice.
Well, so this community that you've mentioned, it's like, do you have a name? Is it like an association?
Yeah, it's called Comunidad China de México.
Oh, okay. So, Comunidad China de México. It's like a lot of. Is it growing? There's a lot of people.
It's growing, yeah. People comes and goes. So sometimes we have a big. We used to have like a very huge community, and now it's a smaller one, but still have people.
Right.
People grow up and.
You have like an office that you meet up at?
Yeah, at the Asian Bay restaurant on Sundays. We meet there, and we practice, and we celebrate parties and birthdays, and posadas and New Year. Yeah.
Posadas. I mean, posadas are like a Mexican Christmas celebration, right? So
yeah.
So basically, when you say posada, it means
like a
celebrating during Christmas time, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. True. Yeah.
And that is also kind of like food related, right? The posada is around the right? Yeah.
La piñata.
Piñata.
Yeah. And
why does the piñata is for Christmas time, right?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes. Yeah. It is.
So why the piñata for Christmas? Like, I mean, this is a Mexican question, but yeah. Enlighten us, please.
Yeah, what's the story behind the piñata? Maybe you can tell us.
I'm not quite sure about that. So I just, know that they came up with it with, they put fruit and candies, uh, but I'm not sure about the story behind it.
So interesting. That shall remain a mystery. We'll
Yeah,
find out
we will
about that.
research. Yeah, but it's like so during these events, you guys put a piñata for the children as well, right? Because it's a Mexican.
Yeah. It's fun, to be around it.
This time. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm actually interested to know, like, because I met a lot of your family, the Chills, and yeah,
Mhm.
your English is really good. I mean, like, so like, how come your English, Spanish, Chinese? I mean, you have all.
Well, actually, I studied in the States, in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I studied hotel and restaurant management. Why not? And yeah, that's why I learned English.
No wonder your English is so good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and obviously your Mandarin, I mean, your dialect is from home, and Spanish is
Yes,
from growing up here.
exactly. Yeah. And now I'm learning Mandarin.
Ah,
Oh
okay.
wow. How is that going? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's hard.
it's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's hard, but I like it very much.
And do you know how to write in
A
Chinese?
little bit, a little bit. When I was with my grandma, well, actually, when I was 12 years old, I went to Hong Kong and I stayed there for about 4 months. But I wasn't old enough, to go to like a high school. I just finished like elementary. So I stay home with my grandma, and she used to teach me, how to write a little bit, a traditional handwriting.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically,
Oh, okay.
like you have family in Hong Kong, then.
Oh yes, I do. In Hong Kong and Guangzhou.
Right.
From in Guangzhou, from actually in both, from my dad and my mom's.
Yeah, because you told me that you're from Macau, and then I was thinking, oh, but I don't know why, but you look like you're from Hong Kong, and then
Yeah.
now you told me you got family there, so no wonder.
Yeah. My mom was born in Macau.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think, I mean, all like Asian people, we actually the same ethnicity,
Yeah, pretty
like the
much, right?
Koreans
Yeah.
and the Japanese and stuff. But like somehow, like I can tell, like maybe this person's from here, there.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
certain differences, right? Slight
Yeah.
differences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in your case, I mean, as a Mexican, you'll be able to also tell, like
Yeah.
from different parts, like they're different.
You can tell
Yeah.
some things about Mexican people too, right? Like
Sure.
where they from.
Yeah.
Like I guess, it might not be completely accurate, but like roughly you can tell, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, we love that part of the world, like Macau and the whole scene there, and and
Hong Kong, like
yeah.
Oh
we
yeah.
really like Hong Kong when we were there. It looks a lot like Singapore, but with like a little bit of a different kind of creative edge. Also,
Yeah.
so it's has a socialist
Yeah.
viewpoint. So that was interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did you visit? Was it a long time ago?
Last time I went, it was 2018, before the pandemic.
That was that after us when we visited. It was before.
Mhm.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, you definitely got the newer Hong Kong.
Yeah, I
When,
went to Hong Kong
when
and Guangzhou.
oh, you went to Hong Kong and Guangzhou. Okay.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've never been to China, but only Hong Kong. And yeah,
Okay.
we've been to Hong Kong.
So when you tell us a bit about like your dim sum thing, like
Oh, I love dim sum.
all right.
You can actually eat it, at the Asian Bay restaurant.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that one of the highlights for us also about the whole that
The
part of the
food.
world. No, it's part of their culture, right? Like to have a relaxing kind of breakfast, and you
Yeah, like
begin your
Yeah.
it's like
day.
Oh,
slow
yeah.
tapas, right? Like we would call it, like
Yeah.
to explain what dim sum is. Yeah, we're actually going to a new dim sum restaurant there in Mexico City on Sunday. and
Yeah.
you are invited if you want.
But we should go
yeah,
by
sure.
your place too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we will check
Sure.
out Asian Bay. Actually, I have tried Asian Bay. They're only in their food court. Because we were doing a gig like where there was an Asian Bay in the it's like I think it's called Mercado del Carmen or something.
Mercado del Carmen. Okay.
Yeah, and there was an Asian Bay.
Right.
Oh,
in one of
okay,
the
okay.
stores. Yeah, so
Okay.
sometimes I order it and then the food is very good.
Was that the Coyoacan one or the San Angel?
It's Sanan Hill.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Do you know?
Cool.
Okay. In San Angel, no, that was like a long time ago, I think, a few years ago.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So, Veronica, we have like maybe about a few minutes left, and
Okay.
like, what advice would you give to other first-generation immigrants to basically navigate their way in Mexico, adapt well? That kind of thing.
Well, I definitely tell them that they should learn the language, Chinese, because they never know when they will need it. Like me, I was lucky and I could go back to China and speak to the people on the streets and and enjoy the food, and that's something I think very important. And also to yes, the language, and also if they can learn how to cook, and I think that's something very, very important, to keep that, because also the Chinese food is very healthy. What else? Sometime when I was little, I felt a little bit ashamed of being, Chinese. But then now I feel like, and I tell my children, you should be proud of your roots, your ancestors, and be thankful and grateful because you have that Chinese blood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things, for being Asian, Chinese. So I'll let I encourage people to keep those values, yes, traditions also. So it'll make them, like a well-rounded person, to have both cultures. It has
Right.
opened, the doors to me, for me.
So your children, they also know the language, or
Yes.
they?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you spoke to them in dialect.
Yeah, when they were little, I spoke to them in Cantonese, and I asked my parents to do so too. Well, then later they got into the Swiss school, so they speak also German and French,
Oh,
but Chinese a little bit, but they understand. So that's a whole story, a different story. But
Right.
I try to encourage them, to speak the language and to continue. Well, at home I still cook Chinese food and Mexican and whatever,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I try to keep those traditions.
Right. So Veronica, the end of our time. So
Yes.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us here.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for inviting me.
On
It
the
was
show.
really a pleasure. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. So I'm Celestine Angel,
I'm Isaac Rakesh.
and we have Veronica Chau with us, and we are signing out here at ADR Networks, activating your senses. Peace.
Thank you to all who joined us here on That Foreign Show. It's been awesome. I'm Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.